I don't know if I'm going to get support here or if you guys are just going to go into me, but I was thinking about this watching the Super Bowl over the weekend, but then also watching soccer the day before. And
it's the most American sentence ever.
Yeah, and I was thinking, like, so much time is wasted. Like, time wasting is like a part of the sport in the last 10 minutes or even earlier for some teams.
Right.
And it's so frustrating a lot of times, injuries, stuff like that. So obviously there's stoppages of play in American sports. Why doesn't soccer as a sport implement whenever there's like an injury, a ball out of play, why don't they stop the time? And they can do that by, instead of playing 90 minutes through and through, why don't they play 60 minutes and stop the time when the ball's not in play, is my thing.
Okay, yeah, this is a very American episode, isn't
It is a very American episode.
Okay, well, I think because, like, first off, because, like, advantage, you know, that, like, kind of sways the time. It can sway the time. Also, if you're in on goal, often the ref won't blow the whistle, even if you're a little bit over. So that would, you know, there would be, like, buzzer beaters or something, which would be kind of weird.
It's happened in high school. That's
Yeah.
the most American soccer has
College
been.
too.
Yeah,
they play
soccer
with
in
the
high school.
time.
Oh,
They
do
stop
they?
the time.
Yeah,
and
there's
then
like buzzer
they count
beaters.
down. The clock actually counts down. So it's
Yeah.
like last 10 seconds, like 10, 9, 8, which I think would actually be good because a lot of times there's so much controversy with like stoppage time. When is he blowing the whistle? Is that enough stoppage time? Like that
Okay,
gets
I
rid
think-
of so much.
Yeah, I mean, I think we kind of talked about this a couple weeks ago when we were talking about referees. And I think part of the sport is like a little bit of ambiguity. You know, it's like, okay, is that a foul? Is it not a foul? Is that, and like, or is there more time to play? Oh, is the ref going to blow his whistle? And like, yes, that is unstructured and leaves a lot of room for error or controversy. But I think it's fun. I think like that's like part of the game. I think part of the, like, it's enjoyable to have a little bit of gray area. And yes, it does make controversy and it does make me unhappy at times when the call doesn't go the way I want it to. But I think it's part of the game. And I think to a certain extent, time wasting definitely is. That's part of the game. It's a tactic. And so I think like I don't mind time wasting or like when players like roll around on the ground because they're injured, you know.
It's a skill.
But they're wasting time. Like that's like tactical play. It's
Yeah.
part of the game.
Yeah.
It's like frustrating to watch from a fan, but it's part of the game. Like that's like
I think it's so frustrating, and I kind of want it out. And like it is a tactic of the game, but we wouldn't had this rule like if this would happen, you know, if they would stop time. And in regards to advantage and stuff like that would still happen. I'm just saying injuries and when the ball's out of play. Those are the times when like you would stop the clock basically. And I want to ask you guys, out of 90 minutes of the game, how many minutes do you think the ball is in play?
51 in the Premier League.
Yeah, 51. 51 minutes.
I saw that post.
Yeah, you saw that post?
Yeah.
51 minutes. The
Yeah,
average
actually.
across 19 leagues is like 52 minutes
That's
of the
actually
ball
crazy.
being in play.
Yeah, because extra time added on is never like
No.
20 minutes.
No, it's never 20 minutes, even though a lot of these things, like even if you have an injury, it's never going to be more than 10 minutes max. So
Right.
51 minutes of actual playing time out of a 90-minute game, I was like blown away by like that number.
Yeah. That's honestly, a fair shout. My roommate brought this up and I like attempted to argue and then I was like kind of swayed because it does leave up a lot of responsibility to the ref to like get like and even if he has like the fourth referee with a stopwatch, they still seem to get it wrong a lot. Like you can obviously see that with substitutes at the end of regulation. They never account for it like correctly. It always seems like they only do like half or whatever.
Yeah.
And the only argument for keeping it in, I feel like buzzer beaters shouldn't be a thing in soccer. They should let the final play out. But I agree that you can still have the referee with the ability to blow the whistle at the end. But just stop the clock when there's an injury, when there's a substitute, when there's the ball's out of play. And if the reason is because the players are exhausted and playing a full 90 minutes would be terrible, then shorten the game. Make it a basketball.
If you make it 60 minutes, you're getting more game time.
Yeah, you're
getting more game time.
play,
Yeah, actually.
Yeah.
We would
So
increase
you're-
the amount of like
getting more game
goals
time.
if we actually
Yeah.
make it.
Yeah,
60
I
minutes.
guess I'm like very for the gray area that soccer brings, but I do, I guess I could see that. If
Yeah.
I could see it for like injuries or when it's out of play. But I like Thomas was saying, I don't think like buzzer beaters.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of that.
They should implement MLS because that'll be American.
Well, that
Yeah,
can
but-
start. That can start. Yeah.
That's true. All right.
Yeah.
Um,
That's my.